Over the weekend, Drew Barrymore won 3 Daytime Emmys for her talk show. And one of those Emmys was for Outstanding Daytime Talk Series Host. Now, this came, days, if not hours, after Drew went viral for one of the most inelegant things I have ever seen on daytime television. And you guys, we have seen Hoda out there banging that drum, for her Joy one-on-one app. Okay. We've seen a lot of, we see Gayle King coming back from space saying, "Have you been?" We've seen a lot of inelegant behavior on daytime TV. I do not recall ever seeing anything like what went down on her show last week. I'm going to warn you, like, if you're watching this on YouTube, like, don't have any, like, any food, any drink, anything aromatic in your sights. This is really beyond. Take a look.
Let's check a box of cleanliness, shall we?
I always like doing that.
Next up, if you have stinky feet, which you don't, Drew. I smelled yours last year. They're divine.
Yeah, she did. Drew does not have
beautiful
stinky
feet. Yes.
She's like a smell good girl.
They're
really
dirty
is.
right now.
But if your feet are, girl,
Great. Let me double check.
Barefoot up.
Hold on.
yes, I mean,
Now her
it smells like a whole lot of nothing. Yeah, that's what you want.
There's no scent there whatsoever. And believe me,
all.
I have other issues.
First of all, we know Drew has other issues. We're going to get into it. You know, you want to talk about star fucking. You want to talk about, you're sitting on a panel on a daytime talk show and the host rips out her own bare foot, which presumably has been all that day before shooting inside a sock, inside a shoe, inside a boot, whatever. And this is why I could never be like an ER doctor or nurse. Not that I even have the ability, like I could never do organic chemistry, but like the human foot that's like been around all day, like it's so, that has dirt on it. It's gross to me. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And she not only whips out her own foot and shoves it up at her nose, but then she shoves her bare foot in the face of this woman who's, I don't know who she is, but she's been conscripted for the day. And then Ross, you know, her pet Ross, like her gay best friend who like will do anything for that seat. You know, it's like, where is your dignity? Where is your self-respect? Where is your inner Martha Stewart to say, put that shit away, put that away? Oh my God, it's so disgusting. Now, you know, Drew Barrymore, when her show began, it wasn't a hit off the bat. I don't know if you guys remember, but it launched during lockdown, I think, you know, and she had to do all of her interviews remotely. But initially it was like an hour-long show and it wasn't working and it wasn't clicking. And I believe Jimmy Fallon's wife is her producer on that show, and they figured out that they needed to like chop it into 30 minutes. People can only take Drew in small doses because she's a lot. And you know, they interspersed it with like Drew's news bit, and then they brought on Ross to try to sort of, I guess, like rein her in and like be somewhat of a foil. And so I guess it's working to whatever extent you want to call it. I mean, I think it's a national embarrassment. So we're going to go through moments on Drew's show within the past, I'm going to say year and a half, where like if I'm the producer, I'm going to say like, you got to rein your shit in, honey. First, let's watch Drew just literally bend the knee, just be an utter supplicant to someone who, even those who believe, most people think Dylan Mulvaney is in it for the clicks and the likes. Okay. He's a failed theater kid, but Drew literally got down on her knees in front of this guy. Let's go.
So happy to meet you.
I am so
And now they clasped hands. They had the deep, close hug.
To meet you. I really am. This is, it's very personal for me in a world where we're all trying to figure out who we're supposed to be.
Oh, Drew, you're like 48.
bravery.
Come on. Who we're supposed to be. The bravery. You know, if you don't know who you are at 48, you got bigger problems, sister, okay? Now we're going to talk about, you know, it's all this vague, like, it's like this vague self-help jargon speak that like you cannot latch onto any of it. None of it means anything. Now we're talking about combating hate. Combating hate, by the way, Dylan Mulvaney's never made so much money nor had so much fame and attention since transitioning. Okay, let's get real. Here we go.
I look at someone like you, and I can't imagine anybody disliking you.
Oh, please.
We can.
Do you want to know,
Now Drew's on her
ironically,
knees.
who dislikes me the most sometimes?
Who?
Myself.
Oh, me too. Oh. And
Now it's time for the performative hug.
I guess, you know, you've asked me now, you've asked me, what I would do to combat the hate, right?
Yeah.
But what do you do?
Okay, that's a great question.
Oh, now we're at a pajama
You've been doing
party.
it a little
Now we're
longer than I
sitting
have.
Well,
cross-legged,
you know, it's funny because
Drew.
when I was a kid, you starting with E.T., it was the first time I was introduced to film reviews, which are basically social media.
Enough. I think
Yes.
that's enough with her. I can't, you know, I think she's really stuck in those ET days. I do. I think something got really stuck there. And this deep need to literally get on the floor and bring her guests down on the floor, and every single guest, like Drew, is just petting them and fondling them and touching them and crawling in their lap. And, you know, she's got the eyebrows knitted and looking up, and it's all like, please like me, please like me, please like me. It's very off-putting. A grown woman should have more self-possession than this. Next, we're going to look at Drew Barrymore. She has George Clooney on her show. George Clooney somehow winds up in this improv moment where Drew is begging him for advice, and she goes all the way with it, and she lies on the floor of her studio. This is carpet, and carpet is filthy. It's filthy. You know, you can watch house hunters and like first time buyers who maybe can afford like the very lower end in the housing market. Most of them know enough. They see wall to wall carpeting and they're like, we got to rip it up. It's fucking filthy. Anyway, Drew gets on the floor and lays down so George can play therapist to her.
Drew, tell me about this problem you have with handsome men that are funny.
I've come to, at
Yeah.
47, realize I have a new motto. If you don't work, we don't work.
Of 47 now, we're getting our shit together. She's never getting her shit together. Okay. Now, this all reminded me of this lengthy LA Times magazine profile. I printed it out and it's like 85 pages. But I read it when it came out, and it was dated. It was by Amy Kaufman. It ran in 2023 originally. So that's only 2 years ago. And, you know, Drew has had a lifelong struggle with substances, and of course she has. Her mother was taking her to Studio 54 when she was like 8 years old. And that rewires a child's brain. Like, she will struggle with this forever. Of course she will. You know, one of the most heartbreaking paparazzi photos ever was little Drew Barrymore, I believe at age 8, surrounded by smashed cigarettes and half drunk cocktails at like a table at like some Hollywood party. And her little head is in her hands like this. I mean, it's wild, but you know, you do grow up and you do have to take responsibility, especially when you have a show that employs hundreds and hundreds of people who are relying on you. And in this piece, her therapist said, and Drew admitted it. Drew actually offered this up, that her psychoanalyst, his name was Barry Michaels, if I'm saying it right, a renowned celebrity psychoanalyst endorsed by Gwyneth Paltrow and Adam McKay, quit on her. He, quote, Barrymore, he just said, I can't do this anymore. It was really about my drinking. And Barry Michaels himself issued a statement to the LA Times days after this piece read, and he said, yeah, that was right. Reading from this piece, she said that there was an intervention. Several of her friends, including Cameron Diaz, talked about it to the LA Times in 2019. I believe it was 2019. And she decided she had to get her stuff together because she got a shot at this talk show. And so I'm reading from the piece. Drew doesn't call herself sober. She doesn't work a program like Alcoholics Anonymous, which is fine. That's not for everybody. She makes the delineation because she doesn't want people to think she's, quote, some perfect Puritan. I kept thinking I'll master this. I'll figure it out, Drew says. And finally, I just realized you've never mastered this and you never will. So, you know, Drew has a lot of, I think, we'll watch her with Kamala Harris. Again, no matter your politics, I mean, she's ready to crawl into this woman's womb. Okay, this woman who's like, hey, I'm over here running for president. Can we talk about something else? But here we go.
I've been thinking that we really all need a tremendous hug in the world right now.
Yeah.
But in our country, we need you to be Mamala of the country.
God. Oh my God. And like, okay. So you know, that's Drew's mother wound, and she really needs to take that inside a therapist's office and not inject it into a highly consequential presidential election. Now, again, we're talk show host of the year. Drew, this was one of my favorites in recent memory. This was just this year when Meghan Markle was launching her With Love, Meghan, season 1, part A. Now, I found this actually very endearing. Drew brought out a black and white photo of herself as a small child. This was it looked like the London premiere of E.T., and she is handing like a little E.T. stuffy to a very young Princess Diana, and it's very sweet. And watch Meghan Markle. Just watch her reaction to this.
Oh, that's beautiful. Nice to meet you, Meg. Oh my gosh. Look at you.
Showing it now. Meghan's mewling.
Oh, that's so sweet. That is so special.
So
I mean, you have it here. Oh.
I was lucky enough
That's really special.
It means so
That's
much to
really
me to have met
special.
such an incredible human being that transcended everything. It was the honor of my life.
Everything
Oh my
you won't
gosh,
be,
well, I
Meghan.
will tell H that for sure. And yeah, okay. Cool.
Okay, that was a really telling clip because, you know, Meghan starts moving away, you know, because basically Diana was everything she wants to be and never will be. And Drew had a personal exchange with Diana that Meghan will never have, obviously. And, you know, short of like driving by her death tunnel and posting that on Instagram. But, you know, she starts moving away and she goes, oh, that's so sweet. I'll have to tell H. And, you know, you can tell Drew is like really stung by that. And she goes like, okay. And like, she kind of makes her like grossy Josie face from Never Been Kissed. Like suddenly Drew's like a nerd in high school and the popular girl has just frozen her out and mocked her. And she's in Drew's house. That's her studio. That's her house. And again, you know, I just wish, you know, I think I just wish she had a little bit more teeth and could say, hey, lady, my show. What do you mean? You're going to tell your husband, why isn't he watching this show? I thought he was your biggest fan. Give it back to her, Drew. Okay, now, infamously. And this, I think, is a really, really key. This is our last Drew clip. I think this is the damage that Drew suffered in Hollywood as a child and a teenager. Because Martha Stewart on her show, on Drew's show in 2024, Drew's touchy-feely. She's pawing away. She's moving into the personal space. She's ignoring the personal space. Again, talk show host of the year. Watch Martha here.
What makes you soft and gooey, though?
What makes me soft and gooey? Soft and gooey.
She's Martha Stewart. She did Hard Times.
Yeah, what
Treatment.
soft and gooey treatment
Yes.
when you're treated like a lady.
Nice. It's nice.
Someone comes in and
You're the wrong gender.
I know.
And Martha pushes her away out of frame, as deserved, as deserved. I say, give Martha Stewart a Presidential Medal of Freedom for that. But that reminded me, Drew's complete lack of physical boundaries and her complete lack of what's appropriate, in terms of touching people you don't really know, who aren't close friends or family members, and not reading cues like stay away, back off. It makes me think that, we know what a lot of these child stars went through. And this reminded me, once again, the only thing when we were putting this together that I could think of was this clip that we just showed you guys, and all of you were rightfully horrified and we're like, how come I haven't seen this before? Dakota Johnson, the one we showed you when Mark Bowden went through this with me on The Nerve, speaking to how these people were likely groomed as kids. Let's look at it.
I'm gonna take her whole being with me from this experience.
Fondling this girl's ears.
Will you marry me?
And grabbing her by her hoop earrings.
Just also the coolest, nicest person ever. So that was really nice to work with someone like that. It's hard to find people who are super talented and incredible.
And pushes her hand away. It's so insidious and it's everywhere. And Drew, you may have just won the Emmy Award for Daytime Host, but stop. Jones Road Beauty has revolutionized makeup routines for good. Created by makeup legend Bobbi Brown, their products are lightweight, they blend easily, and they give you an effortless look that doesn't look like makeup. The creamy lip pencils are perfectly bold without being overdone, and they last throughout the day. Miracle Balm, the hero product, is an all-in-one tint that can be used as a highlighter, blush, or bronzer to give your skin that flushed, fresh, healthy glow. What sets Jones Road apart is the simplicity. It's just high-quality, versatile products made with clean ingredients, no toxins, no junk. Plus, it's American made, and it's named after Jones Road out in my stomping grounds in East Hampton. If you're ready to give Jones Road Beauty a try, use code NERVE at jonesroadbeauty.com and get a free gift with your purchase. jonesroadbeauty.com, code NERVE.